Sali miteinander, hallo aus Prag, aus der FUJIFILM X-Summit und aus der FUJIKIN. Bei mir da sitzt der Makoto Oishi. Hello Makoto, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Could you please introduce yourself to our FUJIFILM community?
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Makoto Oishi. I'm a senior manager of the FUJIFILM Corporation and I am in charge of product planning of entire GFX system.
So since you are in charge of the GFX system since the beginning, I mean, we met us the first time during the GFX50S. Since then, a lot of things happened. What is the key differences between GFX50S until today? And how did we evolve to get to this type of camera which we have now?
Okay. So anyway, the most important device in the GFX system is the sensor itself. So at the beginning, we launched a GFX50S. It has like 50 megapixel sensor. And after 2 years later, we also developed a 100 megapixel sensor for GFX100. That's a big, step as a GFX, as a large format sensor.
And I remember when the GFX100 came out, it was really, people were like celebrating that.
Yeah, and it also has a new iris. Even the large format sensor, it is incredibly works inside the sensor for any kind of lenses. Right.
I remember back then when I was in Tokyo and I was walking with you and we were saying, wow, this new GFX100 is so much nice. You said, well, there is coming in GFX 100S as well. It's not very soon. And since when did you had this idea to bring the GFX100RF? When was the initial moment when you said, now the time is good?
So now GFX is a second generation. The lineup is, the flagship GFX102 and also have a GFX100S2 for more like a standard body, right? So actually these two unit is already completed as a lineup for the current GFX users for landscape or professional portrait studio or something like that. But we are still missing something new, like street photography, a documentary or something like that. So when we completed the plan of the GFX 102 and the S2, we had so many discussions about what should we go next. And at the time, we want to the GFX system more wider audience, like wider photographic field. So that is why if we can make really smaller, compact, even the fixed lens GFX camera, I think we can reach to the, street photography for users and so on.
Yeah, so it had to be first the GFX50S and then 100. So it's like step by step, figuring out what is the demand of the market, how do we react into the market, and so the developments goes advanced. Another thing which I very see is at the very beginning we had with the GFX50S, we had a battery which was completely different to that one. But today we have up to 820 frames per second, which we can shoot. What was the development on that behalf of power consumption?
Yeah. So, of course, we had developed like a generation by generation to improve the power consumption. So, and also the W235 works well for GFX 102 and the 100S2, right? But this camera is a little bit different because this is small, right? Why this is small is like no IBIS inside, no full compressed shutter inside. It works only the leaf shutter in the lens works. That big two devices is really need the power.
So key difference between the both, yes, which increases at the end the power consumption.
So that is a big advantage for this camera.
as we can see, the design is pretty much the same, I would say, like the 106 or like the 105.
Yeah.
So the inspiration of making this kind of design is coming from this camera, I believe.
Yes. So at the beginning of the development of this camera was how much size we can realize, and how much and smaller size and the weight, lighter weight is our first priority, and after that we can make the shape basic condition. So after that we talked with engineers and of course designers as a planners with me, like, and what should we go, the direction of the designing is
Because if we compare the 50R to this camera, it's not the same.
No.
It's another kind of design. Yeah, that's interesting. And also now this format and wheel which we have, which you can choose between 7x6, you can choose between 1x1, the old big panoramic medium formats, GF67.
yes 17.
Yeah, exactly. Who came up with this idea? Like, let's do that.
Okay, so as you know, Fujifilm has a long history for medium format film camera. Yeah, I think it is really popular in Switzerland, right?
Yeah, very popular. Very, very popular.
Right. So when we see our history of the film cameras, so GFX originally have the 7 types of format already, but we know we still have a 2, missing format, like a 3x4 as a vertical, like a 645.
The 645.
Yeah,
which existed like many kinds of.
And also 617. So at the beginning of the discussion, so at first we decided to implement whole format that existing now.
All the aspect ratios.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wrote actually the 6 type of format, 1x1.
Yes.
And I counted, and it's 9 types of format. It's really hard to choose in the menu, right? So I discussed with everyone, and okay. So if we can make it on dial, that's really easier to choose for
More
users.
achievable for the user.
Yeah. That is the original idea.
They came from that because you saw we had so many aspect ratios, and then okay, it's a struggle to go every time into the menu and okay, which one, where is it here? But now you can easily switch. But you can also have the possibility to put it on C, like command, and then choose it by wheel, for example.
Yeah.
Very interesting. As I said in the beginning of this conversation, you are in charge of the GFX system since the very beginning. If you see back to 2017 to today, 2025 or 2016, the camera was introduced to the public. Did you ever thought in 2016, back then, one day we will have something such small and medium format? Did you ever imagine that you will come to this point?
Totally no. So now we are here, but at the beginning, like 2016 or 17, I didn't believe that kind of compact fixed camera as a media format like GFX.
Yeah.
Just even for me, it's incredible.
What was the most challenging, of all over that time for you? What was the point where which you said, yes, we did it?
So if we don't have like an X100B or X106, and if we don't have GFX 102 and the 100S2, we can't develop this kind of camera. So this GFX 100RF was established on the current GFX and X series, whole technologies, and
It sums up the whole history of the X and GFX series since the inception of 2011, I guess it was, until today. Yeah, it's been a nice time to be in this environment, Fujifilm. And I thank you very much to take your time to discuss with us and to showcase a little bit behind the scenes to our community in Switzerland. Makoto, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
And see you next time somewhere else.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Ja, thank you.
Danke euch vielmals. Und ja, wer weiß, was uns alles noch Zukunft wird bringen in der Welt von Fujifilm. Sicherlich ganz, ganz viele spannende Geschichten von Makoto Oishi und seinem ganzen Team in Japan. Besten Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal.